All right, guys, we're going to get into the four verticals concept. This is one of the most dangerous concepts in all of football. That's why everybody uses it. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the American Football Academy YouTube channel. If you're brand new here, basically all we do on this channel is go over concepts and try to help you improve your ability to coach or play. If you're a player, that's really it. Today we're getting into one of my favorite concepts here, the four verticals. Everybody uses this concept. It's very prevalent in the NFL college game. You'll see this a ton overseas as well. Everybody uses it. You can tag it a ton of different ways. So we're going to get into that right now. Here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get into this four verticals concept. We got two different variations that we're going to hit today. We got a 3x1 and we got a 2x2. So first up, we got the 3x1 formation here. We got trips right, three receivers on this side, right over here, and we got our single receiver on the backside. Protection, we've got half slide. I'm going to imagine that the field is going to be to the right. We got more space. The ball's in the left hash here. We got more space on the right side of the field. So we're going to do a half slide minus, okay? Minus is going to be boundary side. So field side would be a plus, so we're going to half slide to the field. Okay, if we're going to half slide to the boundary, I'm going to use that as a minus. That's supposed to be an arrow there. Okay, so that's the way I set up the protection here in terms of this minus. We'll put that on the call sheet as well. All right, we got a half slide. We're going to be sliding here, taking this side. Running back is going to be checking backers inside out and then getting into his route. He's going to be the outlet for that. And these backside guys on this half slide, we're going to be manned up protection. If we have a one tech here, then he's actually going to join the slide. So it looks like a four-man slide. These guys are all sliding. He's not pulling. These guys are all sliding here, and then we're manned up here. Running back, again, check backers inside out. Now, protection, we're done with that one. Let's jump into the progression for the quarterback, okay? So we have that right down here. Right down here, we've got middle field open and middle field closed. If we have middle field open, we're going to be going backside number one, that's this, to play side number three. Okay, that's right here. Backside number one receiver, that's right here, and this is going to be the play side number three. Remember, we're going to go number two, and then this will be play side number one, right? So this is how we're doing it. That's the read, so we're going 1 to 2. Notice these guys are in red here, to the outlet. Okay, that's going to be middle of the field open. Now, what do we tell our receivers here? If we got middle of the field open, we're going to tell him to split the safeties. Okay, split the safeties. All right, check down. This is really an option route. You let him just win wherever he needs to win. You're good with that. He could tell him, hey, just settle up here. You don't have to do it as an option route. You can do this however you'd like. I've seen teams who just want to always leak him out to the three receiver side. I've also seen this as just, hey, we're going to run and sit in space, and that's it. We're not doing anything else. Okay, I like to give this guy the option to just tell him to win. Wherever you need to win, go and win. Okay. If we end up getting middle of the field close, the read is going to change. So now we're going to be going play side 3 to play side 2. That's going to be here, 1 to 2. Okay, so this guy's going to be trying to get over that mic. If we have a mic in here and a will, this is really the throwing lane. Okay, that's going to be the throwing lane right in here. Okay, so we've got this. He's going to be around 18 to 22 yards. And then if not, we have our seam. Okay, that's going to be the second read. That's our seam here. Take the best release. I like having the guys take the outside release, but if they're gonna force us to go inside, take inside, right? And then we just want to get to our landmark, which it depends on how you want to coach that up. I've seen that as, hey, if we're middle of the field, let's say we're middle of the field here, this is going to be the hashes, then we want to be 3 yards outside the hash. Okay, that's one option. If we're on the left hash, which we're on right now, then he's essentially going to run down that hash. Okay, that's going to put you in a good enough spacing. Essentially, you need to make sure, if you've got that one high safety look, that the safety cannot play both of them. If he gets too tight, then he's able to play this over route and also come back and take this seam on the backside. Okay, so that's what we don't want. This guy over here, not really going to be in the read, not in the progression. Don't tell him that. Just kidding. You tell him, but he's got to run off, right? He's got to run off. And the only time that I would really throw this is if we want to tag a comeback, but you got to be probably middle of the field to throw that comeback, because if you're far hash throwing a comeback, it kind of looks like a post unless you've got Joe Flacco on your team, but you probably don't. And then the other thing that we can have here is an automatic adjustment for the comeback. If you're not able to beat them deep, turn it to a comeback. If you can beat them deep, make sure we do that. Keep 5 to the sideline. Okay, 5 to the side, we say, hey, it's a 40-yard dash going up. If you want to have this as an automatic comeback, you can, but you could also tag that. All right, so they're really your options with that play. Okay, also, this is just one way to read this. I've been on teams that say, hey, we're going to read this 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've had teams where, hey, we're just looking at this safety here, and we're just really saying, okay, we don't, instead of going 1 to 2, we just stare at the safety and then we find space. There's multiple different ways to teach it. This is just one way to teach that. All right, now let's get into the 2x2 variation. Okay, so it's going to be the same thing with the outlet situation here. This is always going to be the outlet. All right. So let's look at the read again, okay? If we have middle of the field open, okay, middle of the field open, so we've got two safeties. We've got two safety look here. We're going to go inside out to check down. That means that we're going to go 1 to 2 to check down. That's our outlet, okay? 1 to 2 to check down. That's a too high safety look. So we get that clean seam, and if we don't get it, then we come out here and maybe take our shot, but if not, we always have this outlet to take, okay? And a too high safety look, we're going to tell these guys, hey, we want to bend it. We want to bend it. I don't want to run directly into the safety, right? They're only going to run directly straight there if we have the one high safety look, right? So we say, hey, middle of the field open, that's the bender route. Bam. We're going to get up here, try to outside release, bam. And right in here, that could be our throwing lane. Okay, that can be our throwing lane. In the too high safety structure, so you're going to get something like this. You've got the Mike, you've got your Sam, got your Will. So as these guys kind of widen out, these are the triangles that we want to win in. Those are the triangles that we can throw the ball in, right in there for that bender route. Okay, so make sure that your quarterbacks understand that. Make sure your receivers understand the spacing, where you want to hit, and make sure they're ready to look right after that break. Right after this, boom, ball can be released, thrown on a line, zipped in there, and we're good to go. Okay, you can tag again. You can tag the comebacks on this one as well. And now let's go ahead and look at if we get middle of the field closed. That means we have a safety in the middle here, okay? There's no space in here. That's why we say middle of the field closed. Then we're going to just hit these seams, right? Then we're just hitting these seams. So we're saying clean seam to check down. If you want to have this be a 1-2 or a 1-2, it doesn't really matter. You could also just say, hey, we're going to look at this safety and we're going to, whatever side he doesn't go to, we go opposite. Or whatever side he goes to, we go opposite. If you want to look them off, and then hit the other. Either way, this is the phrase, clean seam to check down. If they end up getting jacked up here, okay, they get hit and they get off track, take your check down. Okay, we don't want to get into the habit of throwing interceptions, trying to force these things downfield. I've thrown way too many of them. I know. Don't do it. Okay, don't do that. So clean seam to check down. All right. When it comes to the running back route, again, same idea. Just have him find space and win. All right, so that's about it for the 4 verticals concept. If you guys really like this video, physically like it, press the button, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll be posting again next week. So make sure you guys tune in. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.